Most of us enjoy watching animals in the wild, but we don't often see many when we're out hiking. And that may be because we just don't know what to look for. So Jeff Douglas has our next story about a woman who spent her life showing others how to observe animals and recognize the signs they leave.
Oregon is blessed with an abundance of wildlife. Most of us have seen Canada geese at our lakes and rivers, or seals resting on the rocks at the ocean. But many animals that are plentiful are seldom seen. We feel lucky to catch a glimpse of an elk herd running through timber, or the state animal, the beaver, swimming in a stream.
There's some fresh beaver. You can see its tail drag right here.
Elizabeth Moore is a wildlife tracker. She says to observe animals, you have to learn how to really look.
Usually when you get down to the water, that's where you get to see the clear tracks. And here's a perfect beaver rear foot, and it's huge. It's really about 6 inches.
Elizabeth has always loved seeing wild animals, and learning to recognize the signs they leave behind provided a new way of observing animal behavior.
That's a deer track right there. There's a lot of things you can tell from a track besides what animal was here. This debris that's been kicked up along the side and in front is from stopping and pushing it up like this with their foot. The deepest part of the track tells me what direction the animal was looking. It probably stopped here, I think, and looked across the river. This is pretty fresh pileated woodpecker holes, and you can tell they're pileated woodpeckers because of the squarish quality to them. They're after the bugs in the wood, of course.
A walk with Elizabeth is slow going.
Some deer tracks.
She's always stopping to investigate something.
Here you can see bug tracks. I love it. This almost looks like a centipede. The marks along the side are so regular. I don't know what this is. We need to stay here and study the bugs to figure out who's making all these different tracks.
She can read the activities of a fox family at this hole dug in the sand.
There's one set of adult tracks right here, and then over here is a smaller set going a slightly different angle. So there's been an adult and several of the baby foxes.
But she says this is not their regular home, or there'd be a stronger fox smell. It's a kind of backup den.
Tracking for me has opened up a whole new world of being able to actually see animals in the wild and watch them undisturbed. And for me, that's been a very exciting thing to learn and also to share with lots of different age groups of people. Another key to seeing tracks better is to put the track between you and the source of light, the sun.
Elizabeth especially enjoys teaching family tracking classes at Oxbow Park.
You can see the next track is right here. The main thing I'm trying to get across to children is a love of nature and an appreciation for it so that they can really spend their whole life learning about it. All these things on the table are signs.
Classes begin with the basics of identifying tracks and other evidence of animals.
This is a beaver skull, if you want to look at what those teeth look like. These are Douglas fir cones, and when a squirrel eats the seeds inside and he leaves what looks almost like a corn cob, chipmunks do the same thing, but they leave more on the cone because they have shorter teeth.
Learning to identify footprints requires a lesson in new math.
What is 4 plus 4? Yes. 8. Okay. In tracking, 4 plus 4 equals cat. So when you find a track, the first thing you want to do is count the number of toes. 5 plus 5, and there are several different animals that fit into this category. 5 toes on the front and 5 toes on the rear. There's a hint. One of them is people. What else? Here. Bear. Okay.
When tracks lack detail, there are other clues, such as an animal's walking pattern.
The best way to learn these is to do them. So this is done by gallopers, rabbits, and rodents.
Finally, she says to see animals, and not just their signs, you have to learn to quit acting like a person.
People are always doing two things. They're always moving and they're always talking. So as soon as you stop doing those two things, you'll see a whole lot more in the woods.
Armed with their new information, the kids follow Elizabeth down to the banks of the Sandy River. Now, it's their turn to try to read the animal stories written in the sand.
And what I'd like you to do is find as many tracks as you can, mark some with the popsicle sticks. I just heard an osprey. Where'd he go? Oh, there he's flying. All right.
What do you think that one is?
Deer, probably. A grasshopper!
What'd you guys find?
Maybe a fox right here.
That's right. That's exactly right. You know, one way to tell fox tracks is that it looks like there's a little X right in the middle of the track. See that? Mm-hmm. You can't go too far without finding something out here. And here we got something different going on. 4 little tiny toes and a tiny little heel pad, and that's either a mouse or a chipmunk. And to determine exactly which, we'd have to measure them about 1 1/4 inch by about 1 inch. So my best guess is that this is a chipmunk.
Elizabeth knows kids forget a lot of the specific information about animal tracking. She's happy if they leave with a better awareness and appreciation of the natural world around them.
This is not the way to look at tracks. When you want to be checking out tracks, you need to get down on your knees and get your face close to the ground, okay? And then you can see a whole new world.
Well, we're very sad to tell you that a few months after taping this program, Elizabeth Moore lost her long battle against leukemia. But the tracking classes and other wildlife programs continue at Oxbow and other Metro regional parks. For more information, you can contact Metro or drop us a line at Oregon Field Guide, care of OPB, 7140 Southwest Macadam, Portland, Oregon, 97219. And until next week, thanks for joining us. We'll see you then.